and they're AI generated, and people think that they're actually were made by a human person, and they were not. Hi, it's Sonia here, The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So usually I post videos about knitting or crocheting. I have tutorials, I have patterns, so I have stitch tutorials, I talk about yarn, so anything crochet or knit related. And today we are going to be doing what I like to call a crochet chat. So I'm just going to sit here and crochet. I've got my crochet hook and I'm just going to be crocheting and chatting. And so for those of you that have been following me for a while, I am in a different space. I have a new filming space. My oldest daughter got married and moved out, and so that left us with an extra bedroom, and we switched rooms all around. So the room I'm currently in now used to be my son's room, and it was the smallest room, and my daughter that got married had the biggest room besides the master bedroom. So my other daughter got that room, and then my son got her room, which is a little bit bigger than this one, and now this room is my filming space slash guest room. So I'm trying to figure things out with lighting and just setup. So this is the maiden voyage, the first video in this room. So if things seem a little off, that's why I'm in front of the closet. I was trying to film in this different spot, but it just wasn't working. And so I think we're going to be in front of the closet. So for the background, and so yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, if it's really not going to work, I'll just go back to where I used to film, which was in my bedroom, but I'm trying to keep that area as a bedroom because right now it's like I've got the ironing station and I have crafts, my crochet and knit stuff, and I've been going through things for charity, so I have like the charity section, like it's a mess in there. So I'm trying to I'd like it to be a restful spot as my bedroom. So, but you know, we're working on it. And so yeah, today we're just going to be chatting, crocheting. I am currently working on this sweater prototype. I talked about it last week where I want to make a sweater. I was inspired by something on AI of all things. I'm not a big fan of AI, artificial intelligence, in case you don't know what that means. It has infiltrated the crochet knitting world where there's lots of things online, especially Instagram is a big one, where there are all these pictures of knit or crochet items and they're AI generated, and people think that they're actually were made by a human person, and they were not. They were made by AI. But there was one picture that I saw that actually I was like, oh, that actually is a cute design, and I wondered so it kind of inspired me to come up with my own version. So I'm working on a prototype. So what I said before is I like to use scraps of yarn for prototypes. I have yarn in mind that I want to use for this project, but I don't want to just bust it out and then it's a complete fail. So I'm doing a test run first. So this is the back of the sweater, and I've been really busy, so I haven't had a chance. I was hoping I was going to get it done, and so that I could, if it was a success, start filming it as a pattern tutorial, but I just haven't had a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time for this video because my daughter's in track and it's a track meet today. It's a really nice day. I'm in short sleeves and we're in April, like, you know, what's going on? I mean, it's almost 80 degrees. I was wearing a lightweight long sleeves, like all through winter. I always wear at least one or two layers. No, I always wear at least 2 layers. A minimum of 2 because I hate being cold. And where I live in Pennsylvania, you know, Pennsylvania can get cold. Pennsylvania's weather can be really wild. Like you could have in 1 week be freezing, like literally like 32 degrees, and then 2 days later 75. It's just, it could be snowing earlier in the week and then later in the week close to 80. I mean, it's Pennsylvania weather can just be crazy. And today is no exception because, you know, it is spring, so, you know, you're supposed to have spring weather, but, you know, we are in April, but it's gotten really warm, and obviously it's not going to stay. I just looked on the weather, and it's by the end of the week, it's going to be like low in the 40s at night and like low 60s, high 50s, which I'm kind of like bummed out about because I'm having a bunch of company next weekend. I have some family that's visiting from Florida, and they're staying not too far from me in an Airbnb, and so we don't get to see them very often. So we're gonna have a big, it's just gonna be like a picnic style, except I think it's gonna be too cold to eat outside because they're from Florida and they get cold easily. I think I have a lot of nieces and nephews that are pretty, that are young, and they'll probably eat outside. They won't care. I think it's going to be nice outside, so which will be nice because my house isn't that big to have about 30 people, and I have 14 nieces and no, how many nieces and nephews? Wait, how many nieces? No, I have 12 nieces and nephews. I was counting my kids, and because it used to be 14 grandchildren, but now it's 15 because we have a new one, so it's 15 grandchildren. So not counting my kids, there is 12 nieces and nephews, and some of them are young, and you know they're little kids and they do little kid things, so they're running around. So it's a lot of people just with my immediate family, but it's great. I love having that family over and just spending time with family. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I know I'm really blessed that I have that. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. So that's going to be, I've been really working hard trying to get my house in shape because everything since my daughter's wedding, she got married in January, and just trying to change all the rooms over has been a project. It's been 3 rooms that I've been working on. My daughter that got married, and of course she left a lot of things. I'm sure a lot of you people that are kind of in that empty nest stage, when your kids move out, they don't always take all of their stuff. And yeah, my daughter's like, I don't have room in my new apartment. I'm like, okay. So I am her storage unit right now. So and she didn't want me to go through her stuff to clean out the room because her sister wanted the room. So it was just sitting, and I'm just like, okay, we need to take some action here and do something about this room. And so I just started packing up all her stuff, and now it's in my basement. And then we were working on moving the little sister stuff in there, and then she moved in a bunch of stuff, and then she just stopped. And my son wanted to move into the new room, and I'm like, you got to get the rest of your stuff out so your brother can move in there. And so she was like, no, I'll do it. Well, of course, she's super busy because she's still in high school, and she's doing track, and she volunteers, and she works, and we were doing driving lessons, and so we just had a lot going on. And I'm like, I'm just going to do this. And so I was doing that, and I had to shampoo the carpets, and because my oldest daughter loves makeup and stuff, so she wasn't too messy, but stuff spills, it happens. So I had to shampoo and just really give it a good thorough clean before we moved everything in. And then we did little sister's room, finally got all of her stuff out, did the same thing, vacuum, heavy shampoo of the carpet so that my son could move into a fresh room. And then finally, and he was doing pretty good moving his stuff, but he's got sick, poor guy. And so everything was just sitting. So this past weekend, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna make the push. So getting everything out of this room that I'm currently in, and then I needed to shampoo it and all that stuff. So finally I'm in the process of organizing this room, and so I'm trying to figure things out. Yeah, the lighting is not the best in here. It doesn't have an overhead light. Like my bedroom has an overhead light, which is nice. So this one does not. We just have one lamp. So I might need to get a larger ring light. I have a ring light, but it's like some of them are really big, and mine's just mid-size, I guess. I don't know. So I think I might need something a little bit larger to brighten it up. So we'll see. I'll see when I edit this video how it looks. It might be okay. I don't know. Well, I'm doing the best I can. It's a learning curve, this whole filming and all that stuff, editing is just not my favorite to do, but I've gotten better at it. And I'm fortunate I just use a free software. I don't have the fancy dancy stuff. I can't afford the fancy dancy stuff, you know. But also, my videos are knitting and crocheting, and I'm just thinking you want to be able to see what I'm doing, you know, because I do a lot of tutorials and patterns, and my goal is so that you can understand what I'm doing and so that you can make it too. So I don't think I need anything super fancy for that. But yeah, so it's just been pretty busy with all of that stuff, and now having company, because this just happened the other day. My sister was like, oh, well, they could come to your house, and I'm like, sure, that's great. Because normally I don't mind having company, but anything with my family, even though it's just immediate family, it's an event. 30 people, it's a lot, you know. So it's a lot to prepare for, and we're in this transition stage, and I'm still trying to figure out what to do with a lot of my husband's stuff, because those of you that don't know, my husband died 3 years ago, and he was a bit of a hoarder with some things. So like my basement, my garage, it's horrible. Every time I go in there, just trying to find anything, you know, I always say if you know what parkour is or American Ninja Warrior, like that's what you need to do to find anything in there, to get to anything. It's like you're leaping over, or I call it the shimmy and shake, like you're shimmying this way, you're shaking that way to try to get to stuff. And now that it's warmer, I'm doing outdoors stuff where, you know, it's lawn mowing season, so I had to switch out my garage, as I say, because we had the snow thrower, and that needs to be easily accessible for the winter. So I had to push I don't push it, but move the mower in the back of the garage or farther back, and then put the snow thrower in the front with the shovels. And now that the grass is like rapidly growing, because we have had a lot of rain, like the one weekend, I think they said we got a month's worth of rain in our area in a weekend, which that's a lot of rain. So the grass has been growing over time. So last week I had to switch out the garage, and that's always a big to-do because it's so hard to get to things. It would be so nice to just have like the mower, because I have a 2-door garage. I mean, it'd be really great if I got my car in there. I mean, that's a fantasy. Like, I'm just not even going to entertain that thought, because that's not ever going to happen, I don't think. But it would be nice to not have to do all those switcheroos, because it's a lot, and the stuff is heavy. Like the snow thrower, it's a smaller one. My brother-in-law gave it to me. I made a switch because I had a huge snow thrower that my husband used. He was over 6'5". I'm only 5'4". So a little bit of height difference, and you know, he was a very large, strong guy. So he had an enormous snow thrower, and we don't even have a big driveway, but he loved big equipment. And there was no way I could use that. Like, and my son isn't big, and he's not big and burly like his dad is. He's tall, but he's very slim. So there was no way any of us could use it. So my brother-in-law took it, and he said, well, I have a smaller snow thrower, because he has a really big, not big, he has a really longer driveway, and so the snow thrower was kind of too small for his driveway. So he said, let's make a trade. So we traded snow throwers, and even the little one, like, it's still, it's big. I've never had to use it yet. My son, he still lives at home, so he's able to help me, but I don't think I'll be able to when he moves out. I just, because when I was able to wheel it out, but my driveway is a hill, and it's a hill, like it's a good hill. I mean, I'm used to it, but like people that park in the street and then walk up my driveway, they're just like, oh, it's a workout, but we're used to it. But anyway, I pulled the snow thrower out, and it was sliding down the driveway. I'm like, I'm trying to stop it. It was comical. I'm sure if the neighbors were watching, they were just getting a show, because I could not get it. I couldn't push it up the driveway. It ended up sliding into my son's car, which used to be his dad's car. Car's fine. because my husband, he loved to, as we say, accessorize things, like especially anything vehicle-wise, like his car. He put a big grill thing in the front. It's only a RAV4. It's not like this big truck or anything. But he put this big grill thing in the front of his car. Actually, I'm very glad he did, because the snow thrower slid into the grill thing and car's fine. So had to get, fortunately my son was home when that happened, and he was able to push it back up, because gravity was just, it was just taking that thing down, and it just booped right into the car. I'm like, yay. So that was fun. But yeah, it would be nice to get the garage cleaned out. I'm not sure how to go about that, because a lot of the stuff in there is super heavy. And as I said before, I'm only 5'4". Sorry, my battery died. I'm probably gonna need a new camera, but yeah, my garage situation and basement's no better than the garage. Well, it's a little better than the garage. I actually did a big overhaul in the basement last summer. Took me probably about a week, just trying to like organize things and make it a little bit user-friendly, because we have he had built like a gym down there, and we couldn't even get to it because it was just so bad. So I cleared out the gym area so that we could actually use that, but there's just stuff down there that I don't need. I need to figure out I'd love to get like an auction house or somebody to come over and just help me haul that stuff out. I don't want to get like a big dumpster, because a lot of this stuff is good stuff, like there's tools and things like that. So, you know, I'm sure there's like insulation. Like there's a huge box of insulation. I'm thinking, you know, somebody that's in construction, something like that, they could probably use that, you know. So I need to see if I can find somebody, maybe talk to some people in my church that might know somebody that might want to come and just see if they're, you know, if they're interested in taking it off my hands and, you know, give me a little something for it, which would be great. But yeah, it's been, I haven't really done a whole lot with that. It's been 3 years since he died, so it was kind of hard to go through all those things. I did a yard sale, and that wasn't any fun to do that. So I kind of was like, you know what, I don't need to deal with that right now, but it's really starting to bother me, because I would like to be able to function in my garage and in my basement and just not have so much stuff everywhere. So I feel like this summer and spring is like, we're gonna try to figure this out. But I am almost done this row, and I looked at my phone to check the time, and I am going to have to go because we have another track meet today. It's not been a great track season. I'm kind of ready for it to be over, but you know, you can't win them all. right? It's just how it is in life. You just can't win them all. But at least it's a beautiful day. We're not going to get rained on, so yay for that, because that certainly happened to me in the past, and it's not super windy or anything like that. So at least the weather is cooperating, so I'm really glad about that. But I'm going to finish out this row, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. It was kind of a random, just a short little crochet chat. Hopefully we'll get used to the new filming space. You know, we'll figure things out. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye!